Our next guest, we're asking him questions he's getting embarrassed about here, but that's all for off-camera. That's not for public consumption.
Can you win a holiday with Les Dennis?
No, Les
we're giving away.
No, but...
he was just showing you what the holiday was.
Have won.
Oh, then I'm not entering.
Yeah.
No, you're not interested
I'd
in that.
love to win a holiday with Les Denis, though. If that ever is the competition, then please let me know.
We'll cook for your call.
Vanessa Feltz, she's over there. This is like the dream. Everyone's here.
Everyone is here, including Jack. And you're thinking, what is Jack Whitehall here? Because he is going off on tour. Matter of fact, he was in Portsmouth last night. He is in Bath tonight, back on the road to do his largest ever stand-up tour, which is called Stood Up.
Yeah, very creative type.
Have you ever been stood up?
I don't think so.
No.
That was one of those ones where you have to just pick a generic title like 2 years before the show's on. So I just kept it really simple, stood up. But I won't stand up any of the crowd. I will be there on the night.
And you never stood, because you've got a gift with the ladies, don't you? Is it true? My wife always says to me, Jack, the only reason she's with me is...
He makes me laugh.
Yes. Well,
ladies like a man who can make them laugh.
Does it work? Is it something you could endorse
I don't know.
from me
People
there?
sometimes ask you that, whether you can laugh a girl into bed. I think you can laugh one out of bed. I don't know whether you can laugh a girl into bed. I don't know how far the sense of humour goes.
How far have you gone in terms of your career progression, in terms of standing up, which Ruth and I were saying to you has to be like the scariest thing you could ever do?
I have so much respect that you can walk out. All those people have paid. They're looking for a great night out. They want to laugh.
Yeah.
You know, paid for a babysitter. It's their big night out. That's a huge responsibility.
Well, I do see it as a big responsibility, and also because a lot of the venues I do are those arenas, I always think the other kind of acts that are in those arenas are people like Ariana Grande or Lady Gaga, and they put on a proper show. So with me, I always want to put on a big show. I want to do stand-up, and I want to do, you know, a lot of material and make people laugh. But I always do like a big finale at the end because I like a bit of showmanship.
Number.
Yeah, I love a big number, and I like
do this
people.
because this is going to annoy you.
Oh no, we don't want that.
No, you don't want that. Look, it's just
Vanessa had spotted it. She was giving me signals over there that I was looking
I thought I'm
like
going to have to tell you.
Thank you so much. But yeah, I like a big finale, and so there's a big number at the end of this show as well, which I think the fans are going to enjoy.
Singing, dancing.
All singing, all dancing. There's stunts.
I mean, just to put people in the zone of what to expect. I mean, previously you've finished your stand-ups with a horse. A horse coming out.
I came on stage on a horse, and then the first show that I did ended with me reenacting The Lion King with me as Mufasa, and a stampede of wildebeest coming into the arena and me escaping. So it's like, how could the sufferer have lived?
This time round.
Then I did a musical that was like Frozen-inspired, where I played one of the trolls. And then this year, there's a whole other idea, like costumes, dancers. There's a big stunt at the end, which could be quite dangerous.
Well, from Frozen, just let's talk about the movies. Cruise, Jungle Cruise. Yeah. Right. So what do you play in Jungle Cruise? Tell us that, and tell us who you worked alongside.
Well, it's this big action-adventure film that Disney have made, and it comes out next summer, and I got to work with one of my heroes, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Sat next to each other, haven't we, at WWE?
Yes.
And you very kindly gave our son your goodie bag one year.
Yes.
Very, very nice.
It was so funny. We were both sat next to each other at this wrestling event. You were with your kids.
With our sponge fingers.
And you were like, Jack, are you here with like a niece or nephew? I was like, no, I'm just here. Not on my own. I had friends there. I don't go to wrestling on my own. But I love wrestling. I've always loved wrestling. And I go to watch wrestling events. And The Rock was one of my heroes, There was this great moment on set where Emily Blunt, who's also in the film, isn't as big a wrestling fan as me, and she was asking about The Rock, and I was explaining, and I was talking about this finishing move that he had called the Rock Bottom, and she was like, what's that? And I went, let me show you. And then I started demonstrating the Rock Bottom, and Dwayne turned around and was like, you? Yes, I'm doing the Rock Bottom on Mary Poppins. That's what's happening.
No, he's a big, fit guy and works out, takes his own gym with him, I believe, wherever he goes.
What do you mean? He takes his own gym?
Takes his own gym
doesn't,
equipment,
like, pop down to the local David Lloyd or whatever? No?
I'm going to do that when I go on tour, I think. Maybe I'll travel with my own Iron Paradise, bring it with me as I travel. That's never going to happen.
Iron Paradise, is that what he calls it?
That's what he calls it, yeah.
So were you invited to join in at all?
I was, but I'm more... When I go to the gym, I tend to just sit on an exercise bike.
Read a book.
Well, yeah, I like an audiobook. I genuinely do. I like a slow... Eamonn knows what I'm talking about. Like, where you don't go too hard. You just go in, you get on the exercise bike, have a little pootle, I'm like one of Call the Midwife in the corner.
You feel as if you're doing something. You don't want to work up too much of a sweat. Or be out of breath.
Exactly.
Don't want to do that.
Never want to break a
Meanwhile,
sweat.
The Rock was doing what?
He's got chains around his neck and he's pumping iron and he's really going for it. And I'm listening to Jane Austen in the corner.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Did he not say, Jack, come over, just try this?
Yeah, he did. Actually, when I arrived, he'd taken all of the weights off the machine, so it was just the bars. But even that, I looked at and I thought, those bars look quite heavy.
Too much.
I think I'll just stick to
sit on the
my
bike.
exercise bike.
How much do you listen to your lovely dad, Michael, and you do those programmes with him? And the thing is, he was an agent in his time, and he managed some big people. Who would he have managed? Who would he have looked after?
Well, he likes me to say that he looked after Colin Firth, Judi Dench, Daniel Day-Lewis. But whenever anyone asks, I always say Christopher Biggins.
Right, well.
He always says, can you talk about... I love Biggins.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Biggins.
An amazing career.
An amazing career,
Yes.
which my father was really, you know, the puppet master behind Christopher Biggins.
Does he come and see your stand-up?
Which he loves me to refer to him as.
Does he come and see your stand-up, your dad?
Now, this is the thing about my dad. My dad is in a lot of the shows. This quite outrageous story at the end about what happened when we went to Chernobyl, and it's this mad story that I finished the show with. Obviously, when my dad comes to the show, I have to do a slightly censored version of that story. So if you come to see the show at the O2, it's going to be great, but you are going to get a slightly censored version of the story
there.
because my dad will be there. But when I'm doing shows further away from London, the further you get away from London, the more extreme it's going to be because I can get away with anything. So if you come see it in Glasgow or Aberdeen,
It's gonna be
I mean, you're going to get it, like, you're going to get everything. No holds barred.
How long was the show?
It's currently coming in at 1 hour and 45 minutes, which is probably far too long. So,
Nothing's too long.
And do you fine-tune? I know, like you hit at full speed from the 4th of November. I think are these sort of shows like Bath tonight, Portsmouth last night? Are you fine-tuning? Are you working out what's going to work, what's not?
Yeah, definitely. I love this process because this is where you try bits out, you cut stuff, you add bits, you find some callbacks, you improvise, and then you know. You really polish it, and it means that when I hit those arenas and I start in Peterborough and Birmingham, the show is going to be, you know, I've put in a lot of work and been working on it.
Do you stand at the side of the stage looking out, seeing how many people are in there?
I think a little bit, and like what you said, like I feel a real duty to deliver, and it is someone's big night out, and I really want them to have a great evening.
Well, you're a funny man, Jack. You are a funny man, and long may you continue to entertain us. I don't know how you fit it all in, but
well, thank you very much for having me on.
Thank you very much.
Anytime.
This is just lovely. This is just
lovely
a big
here,
bowl
isn't
of
it?
loveliness.
You can stay and have figgy cake and pudding on.
I would
So,
like that.
Jack's UK and Ireland tour stood up. Tickets are on sale now. He's in Bath tonight. That's sold out. Don't try for tickets
try
there.
for that.
You're not going to get any. And the first date of the tour proper, I'm told 4th of November in Cambridge.
Yeah, indeed.
You said Peterborough or something.
Oh, no, that's the first arena.
That's
It's
the first-
Peterborough,
oh.
And then Birmingham.
Yeah.
But come to Glasgow. Vanessa's coming.
Oh.
Les Dennis will be there. It'll be great.
We'll have a night out.